And welcome to our show, Geeks Wired Podcast, where we talk about video games, movies, TV, comic books, technology, and TLDR, the Internet of Things. And we have the full crowd this week.
I know, it's amazing.
Woo! We're just going to run through it. Ready?
Yeah,
we have Alex, Ted, Anna, Joe, Jordan, and Bill.
But how will our listeners know who's who, though, unless we say hello when you say her name?
Oh, Ted.
That's me.
Anna.
Hello.
Jordan.
I'll be like, here.
That's not exactly helpful, is it?
Joe. Alex.
I'm Jordan.
That was fine. And I quit.
That's right.
Well, thanks for joining our show. Famous last words?
Yeah. Famous last words. I quit. We're done publishing.
Billy, you can be Joe.
I thought, wait, who did Alex? I thought Alex said Joe. Or did he say Jordan?
Alex is Jordan.
Oh.
Well, he's Jordan.
Jordan
now,
is
so
Jordan.
is
Yeah.
Jordan.
The cop is Alex.
Oh.
You have two Jordans, a Joe, and no Alex is on this.
Oh.
I think I want to be Bill, too. So we have two Bills, one Jordan.
I think our voices are distinct enough to be able to differentiate, like, if you listen all the time. But
I think we should all be Bill.
I also have faces to go with it, and I can see who's talking. So I don't really listen to the podcast most of the time. So
because you were on it.
Yeah,
it's like
I've been on it a lot lately.
The people that have never seen Star Wars movies are those who have been on it because they don't need to watch it because they lived it.
Yeah, but when you're on a movie, like
you're not really.
You don't know what's gonna be like.
You still got to watch it, though. You're not in every scene, unless you're one of those movies where you are in every scene.
And
so
even if you are, you like film it out of order and stuff gets cut.
Unless you're Jared Leto. He doesn't watch his movies.
Well, I've heard a lot of actors who don't because they're afraid they will change the way they act. They're like, I don't like that.
Bill, that was the highest compliment to Blade Runner, though. Jared Leto said he might actually watch that movie. It'd be the first one of his own movies that he actually watches.
And then you got Shia LaBeouf, who sits in a theater and watches them all.
Yeah, he's an actual cannibal, though.
Yeah. That's actually, I was trying to think of his name, and I thought of that song to remember his name.
Yeah.
I'm like, actual cannibal Shia LaBeouf. Shia LaBeouf.
That's pretty good video.
So, we're talking about things that happen in books. And a book that has been announced, Volume 1 of Black Mirror.
Maybe it's not as boring as the movie or the show.
Are they just transcribing the episodes?
No, these are brand new episodes, or these are brand new stories.
Oh, okay. He's edited by the showrunner, so it's an anthology like the show itself.
So they're going to include 3 writers.
Mm-hmm.
Here he says, we're pleased to announce... Okay, so Charlie Brooker announced, we're pleased to announce Black Mirror will soon be available in high-tech paper format. And the authors are Cory Doctorow, who's a New York Times bestseller, a Carnegie-nominated Claire North, wow, and Sylvan Louvel, the author of Sleeping Giants. So they're going to pin the first 3 stories in this novel, the first novel. For volume 1.
So they'll be like little novellas, I'm imagining, probably like 100 pages a piece, probably.
Thanks, yeah. Depends on how depth this story gets.
I don't recognize the authors.
Yeah, neither do I.
Well, so they were saying that, like, the one that said author of Sleeping Giants, I was like, well, I don't read books.
I read lots of books, and I don't recognize the authors. So, I don't know.
Catherine Webb, she's Carnegie nominated.
Oh, wow.
I think so is Sylvan Louvel.
Oh.
I don't know what that means.
And she also writes under the name of Kathy Griffin.
That's why she's confused. She has too many pen names.
Is it Carnegie? Carnegie, is that from Carnegie Mellon, the university? The folks there were like, pretty good author.
They're all right.
You like their high-tech paper format.
Yeah, I do. I did like that. I'm going to definitely get it in high-tech Audible format because I just suck at reading.
No, I like the actual books.
I do too. They look pretty. I suck at reading them.
Joe, what book are you reading now that you finished Ted Chiang?
I'm gonna read the Joe Hill novellas, and then I'm finishing that Corey Taylor book. That's really funny.
All right. So, have you finished the final book in the Annihilation trilogy or the Southern?
Oh yeah, I'm still in the middle of reading that second one too. It's the Acceptance. I'm reading. They're making in February the sci-fi movie that's coming out. That's Annihilation. I'm reading all those books.
Yeah, Jeff Vandermeer.
Yep. It's pretty cool.
Let me know.
I'm going to dive in myself. It's actually at the library, so
Is it an Audible?
it's
You
probably
can get an Audible. I bet it's a well-known book.
Yeah.
Is it written or read by some famous
Stephen King.
Serial killer.
serial killer?
I hope so. This would be a good book for that. It deals with insanity
Wait,
and
did,
stuff.
did you hear about it? Have you seen Mindhunters?
Mindhunter.
No.
Mindhunter. It's a Netflix TV show about back in the 70s. They did research.
The FBI behavioral. Unit.
People have been
Yeah.
talking about it, and I've been thinking about getting it, but I have been super obsessed with Steven Universe lately.
Oh, okay.
So I've just been watching that over and over and over.
Wow.
All right.
I hear the latest season's pretty good.
Season 5,
Mhm.
yeah, it's on. Like, I watched it on YouTube, and yeah, no, it's getting really good. And the thing is it's a kid show. I expected it to replace My Name Is Earl and to just be like something that's kind of mellow and calming and just put me to sleep. And now I can't sleep when it's on. So, because like the plot is really good.
Do you know what you will replace to help you go to sleep and all that?
What's that?
Frasier.
I've
Nice, calm music.
I've been watching Cheers.
Oh, that's
So that's where Frasier came from. It's a spinoff
Yeah.
from Cheers. Like Frasier Crane was on Cheers. So
That's true. He crossed over in I think 3 or 4 different shows.
there you go.
yeah, I believe I seem to remember that, but I only remember him like specifically on Cheers, but I tend to remember something about him being in other TV shows as well. So
I might
He's
be
like the
making
radio host too, so it's good to talk about him on the podcast.
Oh, yeah,
Fraser has
Kelsey
his soothing
Grammer.
voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
So, but apparently Steven Universe is pretty much a similar plot to A Wrinkle in Time, and I swear I read the book along like when I was little,
Mhm.
but I can't remember anything about it, so I'm going to pick it up and
It's
read
a
that.
good book.
I know. I didn't even recognize the trailer when they came out for the Disney movie for Wrinkle in Time. I was like, "What is this?" And they said Wrinkle in Time. I was like, "Well, I don't remember that book then."
Yeah. Well, and there was another one. The last Mimsy was based on a short story called All Mimsy Where the Borough Grows, and like it didn't. It was barely recognizable as that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But it could be like the last time they made A Wrinkle in Time. I heard that had absolutely like, nothing to do with the book. it shared a title.
I guess you make that same complaint about what was it, iRobot or
iRobot,
yeah.
Yeah.
World War Z.
I
Actually,
guess
definitely iRobot.
there's a
I
You know,
know.
one of the few books I have
actually read.
half, 3/4 read.
Yeah.
I never finished
That's
it, so
pretty
it
good.
might be like the movie.
No. Absolutely not. It's a bunch of like mini stories about the evolution of the robots.
You can't have Will Smith running around being an action hero.
He could be one of the people in the stories, but
Wait, what was that movie about the little teddy bear robot thing that it was kind of a feel good movie, but like they ended up it was like this kid's toy and then it like got left and then like time passed and then they retrieved it from underneath the water and like do you remember what I'm talking about? Because that sounds like it seemed like kind of the evolution of the robots.
that reminded me of like AI.
Oh yeah.
Was it AI? It might have been
Yeah,
AI.
but
I think
it
it was
wasn't
when
a
he's
robot.
Frozen. Well,
Yeah.
he's the little boy where he's like, "Make me a real boy."
Well,
And then I was like, "Make this movie end."
well, yeah, because he was like the pinnacle of human evolution. It was actually a robot with emotions and like very human, extremely close to human.
Oh yeah, and don't like the aliens retrieve him or
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
else,
yeah.
like dig him up. Yeah.
And they like turn him back on.
But-
They're like, "You are the pinnacle of human evolution."
I thought it was
Yeah.
the teddy bear, and then they cloned the kid. It was, oh no, it was the kid like died or something like that, and then they like brought him. I can't. Even
Wow,
remember
I
the plot of
apparently
that
don't
movie.
remember.
I don't remember
Like,
the
you're
plot
now
of the
starting-
movie.
It is a bad ending.
I know.
You're
It's a long and short
explaining
of
a
it.
Black Mirror episode now.
It was,
No, I wouldn't be able to do that because I'd have to sit through the whole thing.
The sad thing about AI is it if Kubrick had done it, I think it would have been an amazing movie because it deserves to be a bleak sort of movie, and Kubrick would have been no holds bar, totally unsentimental, and
Now Steven Spielberg couldn't help himself.
You mean like Bicentennial Man?
that was
Spoilers. He dies at the end.
that was totally sentimental though. That was the definition of saccharine. That was in fact like it were a Chris Columbus movie because it was in fact
Because there was genocide? Oh, sorry, wrong. Chris Columbus. My bad.
But they both are
The good
equally
Chris
great.
Columbus.
Now there is no good Chris Columbus.
Aw.
They're both terrible in different ways.
I mean, some may object to me holding them equivalent, the crimes of someone who commits genocide versus the crimes of someone who directs Mrs. Doubtfire.
Right, so you should be on the record to say it's a worse crime to butcher Harry Potter than the other.
I will say that on the record. Yeah, Harry Potter, the first two movies are pretty awful. And then Alfonso Cuarón comes in and saves that series.
And then Dumbledore dies and is magically replaced.
That's true. That's true. Poor Richard.
What
Harris.
else are you going to do? That's the only thing you can do.
I know.
You can't pull because I mean they pulled it in the Matrix. They're like, that's why I look different is because blah, 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 blah. Like just don't say anything about it. Just this is her. The fans will know that she died and
Well,
move
it's
on with our lives.
2 decades early because nowadays they just say, not a problem. We'll CG him.
CGI.
Yeah, well, there's that. Well, was it Twilight? They swapped out characters because they didn't like the way the actress did stuff in real life.
Well, now you can just
You have
give
to call
people
Andy
facial
Serkis
hair.
and he'll like play Princess
There you
Leia. He's like Caesar was a challenge, but capturing Princess Leia in the final scenes of The Last Jedi was the height of my career.
Do you think if Andy Serkis played Superman's mustache, that would have improved the movie? I haven't even seen that movie.
I'm like, what are
I'm just
you?
assuming.
I thought you guys were going to watch it last weekend.
I
I
couldn't.
tried to get Jordan to go, and he kept bailing. Well,
Yeah.
I bailed a couple, and then he bailed a couple,
Yeah.
and then it was too much bailing.
I don't feel bad about it. Like I'm
So, you know,
I'm a busy person, but I just feel like I'm gonna watch that movie and I'm gonna say, DC once again. Why do I never
For
learn?
people who have been disappointed with DC
Mhm.
and have not watched it, I have heard a lot of that.
Mhm.
For those who have watched it, it feels like it's a mixed bag, back and forth of people who like it. Not
I like it.
I like it. Yeah, I'll go with that. I like it. I don't actually, I don't see what people are hating.
Bill, do you know the reference that Jordan's talking about? How he has a CG upper lip? Did you hear about that?
Oh, yeah, because
Superman.
I
'Cause
forgot.
they filmed stuff, and then he was like committed to another movie where he's required to have a mustache.
Yeah, he was
and so
like
when
an
Joss
undercover-
Whedon's like, "We need you back," so they CG'd a clean-shaven upper lip.
Oh, I
Not
thought
a-
he was the
No.
mustache
No,
was
that was-
CG'd
No,
on, not the
they
other
No.
way
CG'd
around.
away
So-
his mustache.
No, so the thing is that they, what was it? Paramount is the one that was for it, and they were like, we will pay for the CG to remove or to add the mustache to your movie if we can just shave his mustache. And they're like, nope, we're not going to let him out of that clause in his contract. So they had to CG it out. Which I mean, what does it matter? Like you CG it in, CG it out. It's the same thing,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, in that kind of movie, it doesn't matter.
But they were. That's the other thing. People were talking about like the CG was terrible. I'm like, I thought it was better than Wonder Woman.
Yeah. I know. I wanted.
It's not a high compliment. The CG was pretty bad in Wonder Woman.
Well, yeah, and straight up, the Amazonian fight it was miles above what it was in Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, it's not like, oh, it's better. No, it was way, way better. Like, they decided to dump money into it and learn their lesson.
Yeah.
You guys are just whiners.
Yeah.
Well,
The
yeah.
CG wasn't that
It
bad.
was pretty bad.
No, I didn't. That's why, with Wonder Woman, that was the only thing.
The end of Wonder Woman was the worst. Up to then, it wasn't so bad.
See, actually,
When they were Dragon Ball Z in it, that was too much for
The
me.
CG and the fact that the action sequence itself was pretty dumb.
Well, how do you have two gods fight each other?
You don't.
Yeah,
Should have
right.
just the god just kill her.
Yeah,
Instead
like
of just being like, I need you to be more powerful. I know you can do it. You can defeat me. At least like Steppenwolf didn't do that. Where he's just like, I'm here to make you guys work as a team. I'm holding back because I know you can do better. That was the Wonder
And
Woman.
then at the
villain.
last moment go, how did you defeat me?
Yeah.
Yeah, God. I know people love Wonder Woman, but it's just a B minus movie for me.
Hey, that's high for DC. And actually, with that too, I think that's high for an Avenger movie, and the trailer came out, which made me excited for this Avenger movie. Because the Avenger movies themselves, with the title Avenger in it, not a fan.
Yeah.
I like Iron Man. I liked 2 out of 3 Thors. I've liked the Guardians. I liked a bunch of these. If it has the Avenger, I'm not bad. I think Justice League is way better than any of the Avenger movies.
You know, the interesting thing about that trailer is I noticed that 6 hours after it was released, like 12 million people had viewed it.
Yeah,
that's a lot. It's
like the Star Wars movies trailers?
Not that much. Like
the first Star Wars trailer?
12 million in 6 hours? I don't know if it is that much.
That's pretty good. I do want the more like in-depth trailers though, because it was just like your typical. Because if Star Wars trailers are guilty of just like announcing a movie by just showing like X-wings going wow and like lightsabers going vroom,
and a Millennium
this
Falcon.
one is just guilty of characters running. Like that's what they always do. They're like Civil War, and the big teaser was like people running, and this one had a lot of running where they're like, "Come on, guys, let's form a line and run."
I think they showed too much. I actually think I want to never watch another Avenger trailer until the movie comes out.
They didn't really show too much.
No, they did. 2 things.
What?
Straight off the bat. Stone 1 and Stone 2 in his glove.
You know he's getting stones. That's the whole
I
point
say
of
I
it.
know,
Infinity
but-
Wars.
Yeah.
Okay, but now...
It's not a spoiler.
No, you just said that within probably an early part, Vision's dead.
Probably.
Maybe, you don't know.
That was the Stone was part of it. Could, I guess, he still is an AI, but the Stone was a big part of his existence.
You knew that this was going to happen. Like this
But
is
like,
Yeah.
I felt like that was like fairly early in the film, and
yank it out of his head. Yeah.
he just yanks it out, pops it in, and punches.
That's not
Iron
a
Man.
spoiler, though.
Yeah, perhaps they don't. It's in the trailer because they're like, well, obviously.
You
But
realize
this is going to be 2 movies.
You realize this is movies based on a comic book, right?
Imaginary characters.
I mean, no, but I mean, how can you spoil it if it's based on something that we already know
No,
what
it's not.
happens?
It is not. It is based off of, again, the title is the same. the actual story is not, because they aren't going to have Atom in it. They aren't going to have any X-Men in it. They barely got Spider-Man in it,
Yeah.
but like they are altering.
Well, that's fair too, but Bill, you own an oven mitt that has stones in it, right? Like, so you
It's
can't
your
say you're
Thanos
like,
glove.
I wish I didn't know that glove was going to have stones
No,
in
no,
it.
I know that it's
Screw you,
the
trailer.
it's how many he gets and guaranteeing this and what he's going to do. Like, all right, I guess I wanted the surprise of how he gets the stones.
I have a
He's gonna
question.
pull it from the head. How else would he get that stone?
Okay, no, but the battle before, like, literally the battle's gonna, it's like the Hulk reveal. Literally the battle's gonna happen, I'm gonna be like, I know the ending of this. I can walk away for like 10 minutes, go to the bathroom, grab some popcorn, and I'll come back.
But
Oh, and lo and behold, there's
but
the
in
secret.
in that case, though, because you can either do it the really lame way where he's just like, let me save my friend, I'll surgically remove it while you wait patiently, or realistically, if like you're a bad guy and you say, hey, I need the stone, where is it? It's in that guy's forehead. You're going to like take pliers and rip it out of his head and take your stone.
Yeah, and
But I
also-
didn't want to know that he was taking the stone yet. I get, well, how he was taking the stone.
Bill, when you saw that trailer and you saw the stone like probably getting removed, did you say, I never saw that coming? Was this a legitimate
okay.
shock to you?
It wasn't a legitimate shock. I knew it would happen.
Uh-huh.
I just didn't know it was going to happen in this movie or the next movie.
Okay.
And the battle, like, I'm expecting the battle to be the first battle now. The
Okay.
first time he sees Vision, he's ripping it out of his head.
Maybe
They didn't
that's
show
your
any of the
surprise.
Guardians in it, though.
Yes,
Did you
it
not
did.
watch the trailer?
Oh, I didn't pay
Yeah.
attention.
Thor
Too
goes,
close.
who are you guys? Right at the very end.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wait, the Guardians of the Galaxy are in it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fun.
I did watch it.
Wait,
Because-
but I got a question. I got a legit question. And it might have spoilers in it. So if I'm guilty of spoilering,
Wait, what? Justice League or Avengers?
It's the
Thor actually.
Oh, we're past that. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So near the end of Thor, when that one lady with the knives on her head or whatever,
The sister.
she goes and goes down to cuddle with that fire, right? She sees that glove with all the gems in it. It's like, that's garbage.
Fake.
Mhm.
What? It wasn't a real glove?
That wasn't the real one.
So why'd they have it?
It's
Wouldn't they know the
because it's
difference?
a plot hole that was established early in one of the Thor movies, and they're like, "How can the glove be in two places at once?" Because
Well, there was also the talk about having both two gloves and stuff like that.
yeah, and so they just said, "Well, it's fake," and that dealt with a long-running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was just them filling in a plot hole
Mhm.
post post mortem.
Whether they knew they were going to do that or whether they're going to introduce two gloves, because then one of the gloves is destroyed and Thanos does get a different glove.
All right, that's fair. Okay,
All right.
we can continue.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, I mean I'm not comic book nerd, so these movies are all new to me. I'm like, wow, that's cool. What's that do? And then I have to have things explained to me because I don't understand why that did that.
Yeah.
Like I didn't realize that dude had a thing in his forehead. Now I do. That's the guy that shot that other guy in the Civil War, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He like accidentally shot the like other Iron Man, the not real Iron Man, but he's kind of Iron Man.
Yeah, the War Machine.
Oh, yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in that really crappy Avengers movie.
That was
Oh, no, that was
an Avenger movie.
Actually, that wasn't
that was
Captain America.
That was a good Captain America movie.
Yeah, it was. And Spider-Man kicked some major butt in that one. I loved Spider. And like
From
that
the guy
actually-
from Bronx.
that actually made me want to go see the Spider-Man movie because I didn't want to see it because I liked I don't want to say the original, but the one with that redhead lady. Oh gosh, I can't remember anybody's
Emma
name.
Stone.
Was it Emma Stone?
Was it
Are you talking about
the
Amazing
hipster one?
Spider-Man?
Yeah.
Go get him, Tiger.
Oh no, that's the original.
Yeah, that's Tobey
that's-
Maguire.
Tobey Maguire, yeah, that's the one that I like.
Yeah.
That's the Spider-Man that I liked. And to me, that was always Spider-Man. And this new Spider-Man came out, and I'm like, okay, there's
Yeah.
a new Spider-Man in town. I'm okay with it.
It's a good Spider-Man.
But-
I like Homecoming.
But yeah, so I digress.
Okay. Well, okay, let's go back to Black Mirror for a sec. Because
Oh yeah,
they are,
we did start with
halfway-
Black Mirror.
Yeah, we did.
It's their trailer. Nice.
They are halfway through the 13 days of Black Mirror. They have shown a trailer for all 6 episodes.
Okay.
Wow.
And there's still more trailers they're going to be releasing. So I'm kind of...
That's too much.
I know,
So-
I haven't seen
So
one of the trailers
Wait,
yet.
is there going to be more than 6 episodes?
Nope, there's only 6. They've already released the titles and all that jazz.
How
Well,
many
yeah,
were-
but it doesn't matter because they're going to be boring.
How many Black Mirror episodes were there last season?
6.
Was it 6? Okay.
And
Yeah.
the previous season,
Was
technically,
3 and
was
3.
4.
Oh, yeah.
Technically.
And then
3, and then a Christmas episode.
Because
And
they
the
didn't want to
first-
bore you too much. They were like,
Yeah.
they can only take so much boredom.
Oh, it was.
So-
Well, the first one was 3. The second, or 3 hours. The second season was 3 hours with a 2-hour Christmas episode.
3 hour long episodes. That's why they're so boring.
Three total, an hour each.
Oh,
But the 2-hour Christmas episode, these are an hour.
So, do they have a solid release date when it's going to be released?
So the answer to that is no.
Oh.
They have not released that. There is the idea running around that after the 13 days of Black Mirror, it will be released. Or
Okay.
at least, at the very, very least, the date of when it will be released will be.
That's what I think. That's funny. They bombard you with trailers, but no release date. They're just
Uh-huh.
like, look at this,
Exactly.
coming whenever, but look at this.
Yeah, so they all the seasons have titles. Everyone's all talking about San Junipero. It won Emmys and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So episode 1 is Crocodile, 2 is Archangel, 3 is Hang the DJ, 4 is USS Callister. Yeah, they have
Star
pictures,
Trek.
very Star Trek-ish. 5 is Metalhead, 6 is Black Muslim. And
Museum.
Museum. Muslim Museum and L. Black
Oh
Museum.
man.
Wow.
Yeah.
That makes way
Like, I
more
wonder
sense
what
in my
that
head.
one's about.
Hate in the Nation. Let's go there. Conclude.
Oh, yeah.
pure popcorn. I like popcorn.
Yeah. Bill, you got me excited. I thought it'd be a sci-fi take of Malcolm X.
No. And that's what the latest trailer is.
Oh,
Black
one of them's
Museum.
all black and white.
Well, speaking of Muslims,
Not black and white. See, it's very much in color. That
No, they
trailer.
said one of the episodes said it's going to be in black and white.
Wait, which one?
Metalhead one. Number
Oh,
5.
Metalhead?
Yeah. See?
Ah.
Black and white.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this.
That doesn't look like Star Trek. That looks like that one crappy movie with Tim the Toolman Taylor.
That's not a crappy. That's a great movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest, yeah.
I love that
The
movie.
only thing good about it is it had Snape.
And it was awesome and hilarious, and probably one of the great comedies of the 90s.
It was
Other
mildly
than
humorous.
No, it did a very good
amazingly
job
humorous.
at making fun of the Star Trek fandom, and how much. Actually, even Star Trek people were like, "No, this is stupid. How dare you do this?" But then they were like, "Oh no, I get this. Yes, this makes sense. It is a good parody of what we have to deal with."
I wasn't like angry at it or anything. I just didn't
You
think
didn't
it
like
was
it.
super great.
It's the
That's-
only
that's all.
good live-action Tim Allen movie in existence right now.
Oh, come on. The Santa Claus?
Yeah, and the Santa
Yes.
Claus too.
Yes,
Oh.
I do not like those movies.
I was watching, I think it was the second, no, actually it was the first one, and they had an up above shot, and the ground's supposed to be all snowy, and you can see when they're walking that they're just walking on like cotton or blankets or something. Like you can see the whole thing just like dip in. I'm like, wow, that's some good special effects there, buddy.
I will concede that Fred Claus was the great one. The one with this Vince Vaughn. Yeah.
I don't think I've seen that one.
Bad Santa?
No. That was Santa Claus 3.
Oh, I blew up. I apologize.
Well, it's hard to be sarcastic when no one has seen the movie and can't appreciate it.
No.
Yeah.
That's actually anyone who ever listens to this, don't watch that movie for your own health and sanity.
Right.
It's
So I think Ted really wanted to talk about this. So with the idea of going from Black Mirror, things that are only in books and weirdness,
So,
real
like,
life obviously can do a better job.
Some crazy stuff that you think only happens in books, and it actually happened earlier today, Wednesday, November 29th. A Bosnian Croat general was on appeal. He was appealing his war crime sentence of 20 years, and after the judge delivered their decision at the tribunal, the general is named Slobodan Praljak. He shouted out in, I assume, Bosnian. He said, "I'm not a criminal and I reject your verdict." Then he picked up a cup, a small brown bottle to his lips, and drank it in front of everyone and said, "I just drank poison. I am not a war criminal. I oppose this conviction." And he was rushed to the hospital and died later that day.
It'd be really embarrassing if that turned out to just be water. You made a little mistake.
Well, no,
Like,
unless
Never mind.
he had his,
It's like a
movie
Three's
style.
Company type situation. Like he faked his own death, but didn't really use poison, so he has to just like do a reverse Weekend at Bernie's and pretend he's dead.
He could have his like special crew. They're the medics that come in to take him away.
How did he get the poison in anyway?
Well, you know what? They were talking about that. So, like, they had like really tight security for like electronics and weapons and things like that. But it's just a little brown vial, and like nobody paid attention to it. So, yeah, they don't know how he got it in there or anything like that. And people were like, "Don't touch it, don't touch it." And yeah,
You should have mic dropped the glass. He's just like, I just poisoned myself. Boom. And just drops it.
Yeah.
it's interesting, like I just didn't think that sort of thing happened in real life, but it's crazy that this sort of stuff goes on.
You should have got a better poison, though, because if you're going to do that in front of everybody, you don't have one.
You want to
that
be
they have
vomiting blood,
Yeah,
like right then and there.
You don't have one
Yeah.
that they're going to rush you to the hospital and they have a chance to revive you. Then you're just like, oh, that sucks.
No,
Guess I didn't poison
you
myself
just want
to
something
death.
that's really, really good. Kind of like Game of Thrones. You don't want to be painful. You don't want to die like Joffrey.
Yeah.
It looks like it'd be painful. You want to die silently and quietly.
No,
and...
you need it to be like the Hateful Eight.
Oh.
Yeah. It needs to be epic, or Joffrey. Yeah, like your face just turns blue in front of everybody and boils start popping out.
You look contaminated, and everyone's like, am I going to die?
That's right. Little xenomorphs pop out of your boils and start taking over everybody. Like,
I've taken poison, and you're all going with me. Have a nice day.
right.
it's still a great way to go. My favorite death, although that is up there, I still like the reporter who is killed with polonium.
Oh yeah, in Russia, the
Yeah.
Russian. Yeah,
Yeah, it was a great hit.
was that the one that was shot from the
Alexander
umbrella?
Litvinenko? Was that
That
the
is-
guy?
You know more than I do, Alex.
I
thought he was
let me double check that.
Wasn't that shot from like an umbrella though?
I don't remember. I just know is the guy was.
The FSB basically won't kill a guy unless they can just like use weird props that were made in the 60s that they keep in the basement. Like there's working through a backlog of just improbable weapons to kill journalists with.
This is an amazing one, though.
I think a few Russian journalists have been killed by it, and whistleblowers in Russia have been killed by polonium. So this probably isn't like the only guy, but yeah, Alexander Litvinenko was a former FSB spy that got poloniumed up.
I'm a woman.
Sorry, I was just like halfway ready with like that Jeopardy buzzer.
That's fast, Alex.
Hey, at least you had a name. We're all like Russian dude. Unfortunately, died.
Alex, you're like, I got.
Odds are you're probably right if you just went with that.
Yeah,
like their names live forever in memoriam in my forebrain. It's like, what about the Brazilian one? You're like, oh, that would be.
I figured it's because he shared your same name.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to divulge last names.
Oh yes. Ah. Oh,
yeah, Bill. I'm Alex Litvinenko. It's no last names.
And that's why you pronounce it so flawlessly.
Never mind that my game company is called Alex Bear Games. I don't know where that came from.
Well, no, it all makes sense, Alexandre.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I'm actually like a 55-year-old Russian spy that just decided to start making games to pretend he's a millennial.
Yep.
I faked my own death.
You look great for your age.
I know. It's that Rogaine work.
Thank you. It's all the polonium.
That's right. You develop an immunity.
I've been slowly poisoning myself with polonium over the years, and now I'm immune.
So I feel like there was like some king or something like that everyone was trying to overthrow, and he started taking poison, but he had been taking a little bit.
Napoleon took like tons and tons of cyanide to the point he was immune to it, I think.
Well, no. Well, they kept sending Napoleon off to his own island, and he just kept coming back. I thought there was another one that they were like full on rioting to overthrow the royalty, and he went to go take poison, and it didn't work, so he actually had to be killed by the rioters.
Are you talking about in Russia what's his name?
I think he was Russian. I'm not sure.
It wasn't the king though.
Rasputin?
Yeah, Rasputin. Because they tried to kill him in so many different ways. They tried to poison him, like he was stabbed, and like there was tons of ways they tried to kill him, and he just seemed like he was like, nah, bro, I'm true Russian. You can't kill me that easily.
Until they did.
Yeah.
But didn't he also try like poisoning himself so he wouldn't be?
Oh, I don't know.
killed by
Maybe
the
guy was creepy.
Yeah.
So freaky.
Glory.
Well, that's what happens when you work for.
He
the
looks
family.
like a badass too. Like, that's him on the streets. I'm not messing with you.
Just walk the other way. Like, I'm sorry. Here's all my belongings.
What is it? Grigory Yefimovich Rasputin. Yeah, nice.
So he kind of looks like someone I'd imagine would be a wizard. Like, he does have that sort of. He does voodoo. So I can see.
This just reminds me that Charles Manson just recently died too.
I know he kind of does have that look.
Like
He's got a definite Manson-esque look to him.
So you see all the people thinking Marilyn Manson died instead. It's really funny. They're like, "Thanks for all the music, Charlie Manson." I'm glad the guards let you bring in your electric guitar in the prison.
That's like when George Michael died. They were like showing pictures of Michael Cera.
Oh, yeah.
You'll always be in our hearts.
All right. Well, I want to talk about this with Google Home, especially after last week, the smart things. So Google Home has added more smart device support to their system, which is nice because there was like none before, and now Apple's playing the catch-up game on that. But so we talked about that I was getting the Google Home, so I have the Google Home and Madame A, or the Echo, and it's really sad that Madame A, Google's better than Google. And recognizes my voice and all this stuff.
But Google has a killer playlist thanks to me, right?
Okay, I will give the Home Mini one thing is its speaker is amazing compared to Madame A's.
It's the best way to get your hardcore country folks music, folksy mountain music, or whatever.
Wait.
I don't even remember the playlist.
We were playing card games with Bill on Saturday, and what I was doing is that I'd say, "Hey Google, play death metal. Hey Google, play hardcore emo," and then it would say, "Playing alternative new wave hardcore emo punk mixed with alternative flavor pop music," and then it's like, "Whoa!" And so Bill's playlist is filled with genres that he loves deep down. He just has to learn to love it.
Hey Google, play some Hayseed Dixie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got it. I'm with it.
Now, if you guys are listening to this on speakers,
We're sorry.
blame everyone else. That's why I don't say Echo's keyword. That's why you go Madame A.
You mean Alexa?
Yeah, that one.
And it all started because there's the mysterious band or musician that's coming to Pocatello, and we're trying to figure out who it was. And one of the options of potential visitors is Justin Bieber, and I'd never heard of him. I did hear of him after that moment, and I never want to hear of him again. Because,
he does that amazing song. It's "Oh baby, 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 oh baby, baby, baby."
Ted, you're just full of swear words today, or bad words. Of course, you're singing these lyrics, and you're saying Madame A's real
Alexa.
name.
Well, I usually I feel
and Google's
Alexa,
keyword.
show me goat porn.
Oh gosh.
I feel bad for pop musicians who are bashed like Miley Cyrus and so forth. But then when I actually heard Justin Bieber's music,
You became a believer.
I
knew it.
I became a disbeliever. I was actually filled with an actual rage inside me that just kind of boiled as the music kept going on, and I was like, I really don't like this guy.
Yeah.
And and so I saw him
apparently
recently.
he's not a really great human being either, like egging his neighbor's doors and spitting on his fans and all sorts of fun stuff.
Do the fans want him to do that?
Well, I imagine some might, but
Yeah, I'm sure.
They're like, "I'll never wash my face again."
oh, my mouth was open. Yay!
Yeah.
Now I live inside me.
Don't get one other thing. Going back to the assistants. This is the other thing. They also got a Chromecast.
What's the keyword for that one?
Well, it's just okay.
Oh, it's
Google.
just
it's through the Google stuff.
you just said it.
Yeah.
Or hey, G-Man.
Yeah.
Isn't it like Jeeves? Can't you say okay, Jeeves?
Nope. That's the search engine.
Bill, know what was a funny meme that I saw about those is they were comparing like back when people were like in the Cold War and they're all paranoid of like wiretaps and people are like unplugging their phones and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it shows today when you're like, "Hey, wiretap, when's the new Avengers come out?" Yeah.
No, it's interesting that you mentioned that. They're deliberating today on the Supreme Court whether government can access private companies' tracking information.
Okay. This is something I personally am very, strong about. I have a very good belief. Okay. This is my problem fine. They keep on saying, we need the keys. We need a backdoor to this. Okay, if there's a backdoor, that means somebody else that's not intended for it could get said key.
Oh, come on. You don't even need a backdoor for Apple.
Yeah, I know. No, that's the other thing. Is they had somebody that went and killed a bunch of people. Okay, you have 48 hours to use somebody's fingerprints before you have to use the password. The fact that they had the body and the phone for over this time, and what did they decide to do but tweet that Apple is stupid for not unlocking
Well,
things?
that's unrelated.
The fact that they can't figure out that they should have put the dead guy's fingerprint on the Apple phone means you should not be allowed to have keys to any of that.
Right.
No,
Well,
can't be trusted with
they're
it.
delivering-
Nobody can.
No, they're not smart enough to even understand what to do with it.
Yeah.
All they're going to
no.
do is lose it. My social security number again.
The issue that's being deliberated over, though, is that the government police have the ability to request without a warrant information on your location that cell phone companies keep on your like as you go
Your
around.
metadata.
Yeah.
So as long as
And-
I have my cell phone, you're saying?
Yeah, and so they can have tracking information, and so if you commit a crime, then they can request from the cell phone data so that they have your location to indicate that you were there at that time.
See, I'm starting to feel like they should have that because, once again, if they're too stupid to put a dead man's finger on his cell phone, they are too stupid to actually go look at that data.
Well, right now they can do it, but it's in appeal right now, and it's at the Supreme Court, and it seems like the justices are in fact leaning against that because there's a 40-year ruling that if you volunteer information to a third party, then you have no expectation of privacy. And so far, cell phone metadata has fallen under that, and so it's not exempt. But now it may become exempt, and depending on the ruling in the Supreme Court, it may in fact transpire that government cannot access your location data based on cell phone information
Without a warrant.
Without a warrant.
Good. Because also the bad thing about if you can access somebody's data because you handed it off to a third party, that also, the bad part about that is they can take all of this micro information.
Well, yeah, I mean, we give that stuff out like with the expectation of privacy all the time.
Well, it's not just that, but also what they're going to do is they take all this micro information and then they can build a profile around you and they get information on you that you didn't hand them because of all this micro information.
They connect the dots.
They connect the dots for themselves.
Yeah.
People you associate with and
If you go to a conference and back to your phone is there. Suddenly, Facebook goes, "Hey, you might know these people because they were in the same place you were."
There was an episode of Black Mirror that could have addressed this very issue, but instead they talked about cheating instead because there's
They may
Black
address
Mirror.
that. I feel like it.
No, there was an episode that specifically could address your personal data in your little recorded eye thing, but then they talked about
There may yet be.
cheating me.
But it is interesting.
It's
I was
vapid and ridiculous. It's just a stupid show.
I was listening to an NPR program, and they were talking about the different arguments for this case, and it is. I clearly am against having information just freely available for the government.
Well, I'm against having the back door key, if it exists.
You said dorky.
Yeah. Yes. Because if it exists, somebody that should not use it can.
And they'll be able to use it much easier than the authorities would be able to. Because they know what they're doing.
Yeah, because people don't know what to do with a dead person's finger in a phone.
Right.
So, what was it?
Sorry, I'll let you. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, but the argument that the side trying to prosecute is defendants. The defendants are appealing and saying this is unconstitutional and so forth. The prosecution is arguing that people with cell phones, even though they know they're being tracked, and so that means that it is totally voluntary. But then you have, I think it's Sotomayor who's saying that because we keep cell phones with us all the time and they're essential for most people.
They become
essential.
Yeah, she actually called it an appendage, basically.
Mhm.
And so this kind of puts in an unusual circumstance with the digitized world versus mail information, where if you send a piece of mail, then the government can freely access the information outside the mail, not the letter inside.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, and there's lots of people that are required to carry that stuff for their work, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, you can't. So, are they gonna tell their employers, "Sorry, I can't because I don't want to be tracked"? Or, yeah, I don't know. I have long held the belief that we don't actually have privacy. We just have a facade of privacy, and government agents or people high enough up the chain can peer into anybody's lives at will. And so I think because of that, we should just pierce the veil and make everything available to everybody.
Well, and I don't mind,
but it only works if it's everybody.
Yeah, and it has. Yeah, I don't mind the free amount of information. I just don't want to have somebody watch me while I'm on the toilet. That's it. Let my little private spot be it. But fine, whatever. Let my little house.
Are you opposed to people knowing that you're on the toilet? Not watching you, but just knowing that Yeah.
No, how
Be
much
like,
time I
be like,
spent.
you came into work, and I was like, I noticed you only dropped the deuce twice this week, Bill. Are you feeling okay? Like, at what point does it get creepy? I mean, or not become creepy anymore?
Yeah, I was like,
That's also like super specific too. I mean, there's I've got like maybe a few more off the top of my head. I wouldn't want someone eavesdropping in, but I mean, at some point, if that was like if that's the extreme that we took it to, then like people would just like do stuff they need privacy for while on the toilet. Like if someone wanted to do like some shady accounting or something, be like, "Oh man, oh boy, I got a burrito, I got a drop in the toilet," and they just go in there with like their laptop and just like operate their second set of books.
But Bob, that's your 4th time that you're dropping a burrito.
Be like Taco Bell all week. What?
So Chipotle would just like double value, and their stock would double in value overnight.
They're like, just give me whatever. I'm not going to really eat it, but I need the government to know I was here and I bought something.
But I think free, like, just everything open would cause a lot of things that people like are really ashamed of that they do. Like, that shame would go away because they realize so
Kevin
many more
Spacey
people do
would
that.
feel better about himself. It's like it's so much better now that everyone knows.
Or you would have people that wouldn't have the.
Well, they wouldn't be able to do that. We wouldn't be having all these
No.
scandals because people would know that they're treating these people like crap.
We still have scandals.
There are photos of some of these people doing these things. They just didn't think it was bad at the time.
Yeah,
And
like
now-
Al Franken. There's a picture taken of him actually groping a woman and smiling about it, and it was publicly available.
Yeah.
And
he just didn't think it was bad at the time.
Yeah, I guess if like there was no privacy whatsoever and absolutely everything is public record, you'd have like the Metal Gear Solid 2 problem, and just there'd be so much information you could never use any of it.
Well,
It's like when you log into your Hotmail because someone accidentally sent something there, or you like buy something from a website you haven't done in a while. It goes to your spam account, and you have to spend like 2 hours looking for the receipt. So I mean, like too much information could definitely be a problem too. Unless we want to use like Snapchat, then there won't be a record. Then I guess maybe that'd be a solution.
I think that's the point, though. Too much information means that if someone really wants to like go through your life, they're gonna have to wade through a lot of irrelevant stuff.
Or that irrelevant stuff starts becoming these micro connected dots that now they know your life better than you know your life because you have given so much.
Well, maybe they can help me out.
Hey, there we go.
There's always the concern of like Luddite backlash, because like, what if someone's like, okay, I just won't have a phone or internet connection anymore. I'd rather be able to poop in the dark.
No.
It would be interesting, a world with complete transparency, because right now we're in this strange flux where transparency is more weaponized than anything.
Well, but okay.
Well, and certain people in our society just don't have it. Like, if you can't be a movie star and be anonymous. Like, legally, people can just stalk you.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, to a certain degree.
Well, but
Bill, Ted, are you speaking from experience?
Oh, I've gotten off so many stalking charges because they were famous.
Oh, I thought you were saying that people were stalking you. They're like the local podcast celebrity.
I know.
No, it's not always weaponized. Vegas, they are a smart city. They have multiple sensors. They're using LiDAR. They're using cameras. They're using all these sensors. If somebody walks into a crosswalk, the system goes, "Hey, there's somebody in the crosswalk. We need to turn these lights red so they don't get run over."
Mm-hmm.
Because CES is done in Vegas, companies that go to CES are giving Vegas this information. Vegas is in that weird spot where it's technically not part of. It doesn't have to follow Nevada's laws, and it wasn't part of. And then when they tried to tax them, they figured some ways out of it. They're like, "Well, we don't care." So Vegas is a nice, unique city of its own,
right?
And they're doing a lot of stuff that would be more popular in Britain for government, because it's the closed circuit cameras they have everywhere, and in Britain the government knows everything about you. In America, the businesses know everything about you.
Right.
In Vegas, but also all that information keeps you safe. It can be used to obviously get push you towards the gambling more, or it can be used towards you're drunk, you're walking across the street, you're not paying attention to anything, the city's going to make sure you're not killed.
Right. I can see how
And
Big
the-
Brother always watching you, or that sort of transparency where you're always being observed, can be
In a public
utilized
location,
in
at least.
in a beneficial way. But what I mean is that more and more you're finding cyber crimes becoming rampant against entire countries.
I
And
mean, our socials just recently got
oh yeah, the Equifax thing.
for I don't know the 5th time.
Yeah. And so that's the kind of transparency that we're experiencing, where it's used more for extortion measures
Yeah.
than anything else.
And that's why I feel like we need a better system than the Social Security number, and everyone being so afraid of your government watching you. We just need a real, legitimate form of ID with a good, secure number that goes with it that actually has some security behind it.
The any lock that has
True.
a key
Can be
is going to have a fake key. Like, it's just the way it is.
Yeah, but at least they can use the fake key, and it's not my key. Or it takes effort to use my key. Like,
well, it
they
still
need-
takes effort to use your social. They got to get your social and your name and your date of birth and
But they don't
some
need my
other
picture.
information. No.
They just need my name, my date of birth, and my social. And guess what? Suddenly they have lots of information. Sometimes they don't even need that much information.
If someone's good at social engineering, all they need to know is your Twitter handle.
There you go.
Because there was a guy who had a really desirable Twitter. I can't remember the specifics, and I apologize.
E.
But yeah, he had a really
It was E.
desirable. Okay, I'll take your word for
I
it.
did hear about this.
But
Yeah.
but people social engineered him, took over his bank accounts and stuff, or something. I don't
PayPals.
remember exactly what. But they said, "We'll release this. All you have to do is give us access to your to this Twitter account because we want it."
Yeah, no, I did hear about it. They
Yeah.
actually got lots and lots of information.
And all they had was the Twitter handle, and they figured it all out through social engineering. So, it doesn't take much.
You know who you can't social engineer?
Robots,
Well, you can social engineer.
probably. You're right.
Unfortunately, I think that's actually the point. But yeah, Batman. Did you guys enjoy?
I bet Batman would have fallen for a phishing attempt.
Well, only
Like-
if you
like
say
Alfred
Martha.
sends him an
Martha's
email.
the
and
only
his GoDaddy
social
account, he also
engineer.
lost.
What's that guy?
Yeah. Where is it? Oh, N. Sorry,
N.
N.
It wasn't E. It was N. Just the letter is at N.
Yeah, because they got over his GoDaddy.
His GoDaddy, his and his PayPal account.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah, there was all sorts of stuff they did. Yeah, I read about this about a
Yeah,
year
it's
ago.
been a while. 2014.
Is it 14?
The article. I don't know when the article's from, but yeah,
Yeah, well, January 20. Yeah,
it's been a couple years.
I remember reading about this. That's why. It's super
Oh, that's
interesting.
crazy.
And yeah, people handed his information off because they provided just enough information.
And they scared him.
And well, they scared him. But the other thing is, even when he tried to get his information back, he couldn't because they changed the information, or he couldn't provide quite the correct amount of information.
Because they switched it a little
Well,
bit.
either they switched it, or even if they didn't switch it, there was certain questions that you're asking your security questions.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't quite remember that one. And if you get somebody that's certain people, social engineering, all right, no problem. Click, don't care.
Yeah, that's true. And you can just change your security questions. Some of those are really stupid too. You can just say whatever. They're like,
Yeah.
"What's your dog's name?" They're like,
Bob.
"Whatever." Yeah, Bob. Okay,
Yeah.
accepted.
Well, and I know for like getting like a social security card or something like that, they ask you very specific questions. They're like,
And birth certificate.
other things. There's a lot of things like that, but they'll be like, when did you live on this street, or like, which of these addresses did you live at, and they put in like little things that like you never lived at just to make sure and whatnot. But that stuff can be available. It doesn't take much to get it if you know where to look.
And the other nice thing about this, because I've had my PayPal account to end up going for, is also having the dual verification. You're going to get something text you, but you got to be careful because certain apps will still attack that. You have the app with some of the built-in securities. You still have to be cautious. You can't just like willy-nilly install certain things, but you have all these additional backup things. It's not just your password. It's also the code that they send you. It's also the thing they send to your email or the phone call. All right.
Yeah.
I want to finish things up, though.
Okay.
Slightly spoiler. Actually, no spoilers.
You can spoil away.
Okay.
I haven't seen it, but I don't
for
care.
Justice League.
The Just Us League.
The Just Us. Yeah.
Just the 12 of us.
Did you
We
guys
can
watch it,
make
Ted?
it.
He was there.
I didn't.
We didn't.
Oh, I thought you guys thought.
Yeah. Good job, guys.
Well, you
They
can not
weren't there
spoil
with
it.
us.
I don't care.
We can
I-
wait.
I
Actually,
don't
wait a
know.
little bit.
I don't
Um,
even know if we'll actually go out and watch it.
Yeah.
What?
That's it. We're done.
Mic drop. And it just dropped the beat.
Sorry, guys. I guess my DC prejudice is showing. Like, I'm just not.
No,
fan
it
of the
looked
movies.
interesting, but we're just busy lately.
Yeah. Oh, there's that.
And Anna's been eating so much lately. It's just,
I'm eating for 2, and that's why I take 2 lunch bags to work.
she's 7 months pregnant.
And Ted steals a lunchbox.
Like, I'm still eating one of those lunches.
We're basically 7 months now.
Be like,
Yeah.
Okay, fine. We won't spoil. But I still liked it.
Okay.
yeah, I like
Thanks, Anna.
I recommend.
I was going to hear about a movie that I'm not going to see. Thanks.
You're just absolutely positively not going to go see it.
Oh, I have no idea.
Okay.
I mean, it looks okay, and I liked the other. I mean, Superman sucks, but
Have you guys seen Coco?
no, I heard it was really good.
It
though.
is amazing. That is
I
a
heard it
really
was
good
really,
Is
really
movie.
it true it has a 20-minute Frozen short, though?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was not amazing.
Uh,
Yeah, I,
no.
I also
I
heard
about
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went
I
with.
heard
I heard about a friend who walked out.
I heard I was ready to do that. I was so upset. Well,
it was. Yeah, I think it was one of
I
our
didn't
friends.
watch it,
No,
but
I think one
I
of our
read
friends
something where
posted
it
it
said,
on it.
like, Coco was good, but what?
it was even longer than 20 minutes, I think. Joe's brother Frank and I, we went to see that movie, and we're expecting the Pixar movie Coco, and then a Frozen short came on, and I was like, oh, okay, yeah, we're used to the shorts. And it just didn't end. It just kept going on, and then we're past the 10-minute point, then past the 20-minute point, and it kept continuing. And yeah, I'm pretty sure it
So
went.
if it's like a 7:30 showing, show up at like 8:15, and then you get to watch Coco
Yeah.
after the trailer.
So skip the trailers. Skip the first 20 minutes if you want. No, it was
No, I was like completely indifferent to Frozen, and then when it like people couldn't let it go. I hate Frozen. I'm not a fan at all. I hate every time I see those stupid characters
Can you
and the blow up snowmen.
Can
I'm
you-
like, no,
Can you just say that again? They can't do what?
they can't let it go.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I loved it. All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, I was a fan of the movie, but this actually turned me against it. Now I hate the movie. I will
Hate
say,
Coco because
yeah.
of Frozen.
yes, I hate.
So they didn't really they didn't talk about it too much here, but I guess it released first in Mexico.
Oh, well,
Is what
that's-
I'd heard,
that's
and it
fine.
was
Coco
like
did?
extremely popular in
Yeah.
Mexico.
It
is
should
what
be.
I'd
I
heard.
think that it represented them well. It is a very wonderful movie, and it does a really good job kind of showing a small town Mexican village.
Have you
a
been to
small
a small town Mexican village?
I have in my mind been
I
to it.
I've looked
I
across the
have.
border
It's good
to a small
times.
town.
Oh, you and Sarah Palin.
Ooh. Well, no, she sees Russia.
Did you see Vicente
I-
Fox staring with his beady little eyes, looking at you? I know he's not the president anymore, but I
No.
remember.
And this is many
Many
moons ago.
many years ago. So they probably
No,
was.
even more moons.
Oh yeah, he was
Oh.
the president when I was living there. Fox.
There you go.
Didn't
when you were
he-
living
is
in
it-
Mexico.
Yeah,
He's the one
I
who
lived there for a year.
I like him because he said his strongly worded Twitter
Oh yeah.
that involved lots of profanity
About
against
the wall.
another president. But yeah, I don't know. I guess Coco doesn't need plugging because it's top at the box office right now.
What?
Yeah,
It beat out Justice League.
it did.
And it wasn't even advertised. I saw zero advertisements for it.
I saw some. It reminded me of Book of Life.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
That's a good
it's
one.
supposed to be
It
a
was-
better version of it.
Well, it seems like
I know
it,
Book of Life was pretty good. I think.
But he like
I'm like
goes to the land of the dead, right?
Mhm.
That's like the whole thing. Is he's chilling?
Yeah, but it differentiates itself in a very big way from
That's
the
good.
Book of Life.
I liked Book of Life. I didn't like the stylizing of it, but
Oh.
that's probably just because I'm racist.
You know, a movie that
It's because
does.
it's Guillermo del Toro. You haven't watched Troll Hunters either, have you?
I have.
Pretty good.
Box
Yeah,
Trolls?
it is.
No,
Oh, Troll Hunters. No,
Yeah.
Oh,
sorry.
yeah.
It's like Netflix's longest running season. I think it's like 30 episodes in one season. I'm like halfway through it. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can keep watching this.
Season 1, Steven Universe, 52 episodes.
Oh,
Now, granted, they are like 15 minutes long,
Right.
but still.
Yeah, that's impressive. Though.
You know, a movie that does need plugging though is Three Billboards Outside Ebbings, Missouri. It's a fancy. I see a lot of blank
No,
looks.
yeah.
A lot of blank looks. It's probably the
I look
second,
like this all the time.
Do you? That's the second best movie of the year.
what is it?
Three Billboards Outside Ebbings,
Is that
Missouri.
Woody Harrelson? I haven't watched it yet because we live here and AMC sucks. Now
No,
that they
no,
don't
it's this
sponsor it,
one.
you suck,
Ah.
AMC. I'm sure you suck all across America.
So I saw it at an AMC theater. And
Ah, there you go.
no, I'm joking. I saw it at a regional. AMC does suck. So
Regional or Regal?
I think it is regional.
In Idaho Falls?
I'm sure it's pretty good.
No, it is in Seattle.
Oh, in Seattle.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Regal.
Is it Regal?
It's Regal.
Well, it felt Regal. It was very nice. It
Well,
was-
they do have the crown on top of the R.
we had wonderful cushion chairs, like nice cushiony chairs that reclined all the way, and
Oh, there's some pretty awesome theaters out there.
I really
Oh,
enjoyed it. But that is a fantastic movie. It's by the guy who did In Bruges and Seven Psychopaths, and this is
Wait. Let me do that look again. Ah.
In Bruges is a very good movie. And Seven Psychopaths
It's
was
a
okay.
pretty good
Yeah,
movie.
it's a pretty good movie.
yeah. In Bruges is excellent. This is
In Bruges.
In Bruges, yeah,
In
it's a European town.
yeah.
No wonder I can't pronounce it.
Yeah.
But
I have
yeah,
problems enough with my own town.
this is probably his best movie, and that's saying a lot if you saw the previous two, because they're good movies.
Speaking of your own town, did you know that Chubbuck is just named after some dude from the railroad?
Yeah, I did read that. That was in the paper. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Just some dude from the railroad. We'll call it Chubbuck. Why not?
Yeah.
He's original Chewbaccian.
He is the Chewbaccian.
Jordan, plug the other movie that you can watch on YouTube, because there's
yeah?
a movie coming out called The Disaster Artist,
Bergmageddon?
which requires you watching The Room
Mm.
on YouTube
Okay.
to appreciate the disaster
This
artist.
will be the last thing.
Hi, Mark.
Yeah. Because
Hi-
The
hi,
Disaster
Mark.
Artist is
Hi,
about
Mark.
the making of The Room, which is a really bad movie that has this guy who was independently wealthy that got rejected by everyone in Hollywood. I
For
won't
good
say
reason.
unfairly, not unfairly.
Okay, but that's how some of the great. Well, let's see. That's how the Saw movies came around to existence. Is that they wouldn't, and that production company, nobody would back them. That's how
LucasArts?
LucasArts.
Yeah.
I thought I just made that up.
No, you didn't. I forgot his name. Did Robin Hood Men Tights and
Steven Jackson.
no
Alan
Mel
Jackson.
Brooks. Mel Brooks. That's how he started. He had to start getting on his own.
Well, but Bill, there's still a difference though, because there's like the small budget with like lots of potential that you can
Oh,
still
okay.
call like a good movie, and then there is a different tier, like as far as in just really bad movies.
Yeah, go watch Leap on YouTube.
Yeah, The Room is like an A movie. For bad movies, it's an A because I liked every single second of it, but it's not a real A because it's still a terrible movie.
You know what the
So
budget
you want
for
your
that?
time back.
No, you
No,
don't want your
I-
time back.
really?
I'd watch it again.
It is a great
yeah.
bad movie. You know how much it costs to make it?
$7.
$6 million.
Holy crap!
Yeah, and it looks like it did cost $7 to make it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
that guy really did have a lot of like loose change or
they
whatever.
just
for-
released an honest trailer about it. It's
The
pretty
Room
awesome.
and what?
So the disaster artist is James Franco's making that movie.
And you said it's on YouTube.
No,
Oh,
The
no, it's
Room
coming out.
is on YouTube
Oh,
because that's what it's about. Because he plays the guy who's the main character in the movie.
okay. So the Room's on YouTube.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's Spanish subtitles, which I thought made it even better.
It does. You have to watch the Spanish subtitle version.
All right. Well, let's wrap things up.
Yeah.
Famous last words. Start with Alex.
I got nothing other than I'm making a game. It's called RoboVDino. Go to RoboVDino.com, check it out, or follow me at RoboVDino on Twitter.
What about Steam?
It's on Steam too. You can get to it from RoboVDino.com. It's on the left side.
And also link in the show notes.
Let me see. Yeah, suck it, AMC, and your big old like up surcharges for Movie Pass. I'm still using it, and you get to run 2 cards.
At least.
Yeah.
Because you still got to buy your popcorn.
And another one, and then I'll make them give me my points too. No, now I'm not getting popcorn because they made me waste $1.50 that I would have put towards it.
Oh, bye, Mark.
Yeah.
If everybody's watching us, are they actually listening to us as far as the podcast? Because we had everybody like talk about how our privacy is not our own. But do we actually have
Everybody's
listeners?
watching us, but nobody listens to us.
Exactly. If they continue to watch us, like, are there listeners?
Oh, that's so meta, Anna. I love it.
I know.
If Six Nerds Record a podcast, does anybody hear it?
Yeah.
So everybody likes Albert Einstein, but they're terrified of his Uncle Frank.
I don't know. I can't follow this up.